Welcome back to the Chase Down. I'm Chase Sanders. Today I just want to talk about, because I've seen a lot of people talking, and I've had a lot of people ask me what are my thoughts on what Sam Presti is doing, what is there to look forward to this basketball season. The Thunder is going to suck. Oh man, this is going to suck. What are we going to do? Should we fire Sam Presti? And I'm just going to tell you what I think. Listen, what Sam Presti's doing is he's showing us that he has a plan, he has a direction for where the Thunder need to go, or where he wants to take the Thunder, what direction he wants to go with the Thunder. And that direction is obviously through the draft and through young players. So I say to these people who say, Sam Presti's doing it wrong, we're letting all these guys that love this organization and people that the fans love and guys who can be building blocks and guys who are just a part of the culture and all this, he's just letting them go. Which I don't really understand, which is, yes, Steven Adams, big part of the Thunder. I guess he's part of the culture. And yeah, you could have kept him, but he's probably an easier trade and a faster trade than Al Horford is. And what you can do with Al Horford is turn him around and make him an easy flip like we did with Chris Paul. That's what you can do with that. And, the Pelicans were willing to pull the trigger. That's just a fast one that he got, an easy trade that we get for Steven Adams. And when we have all these bigs, when we traded for TJ Leaf, we have Poku, we have Bays, we signed the Omer Yurtseven to the Exhibition 10 contract. We just have some big guys, that's taking up minutes. It's minutes away from these young guys to develop. And I know Steven Adams isn't that old, but he doesn't really fit this timeline. You can always, when this team is ready, sign a veteran big if you need to. But anyways, I just want to talk about where Sam Presti is going with, on his plan, what he's looking to do, because this Thunder team, they're not going to sign a big free agent. The Thunder has never signed a big free agent that wasn't already on our team the year before. And the only way you're going to do that is if you have a bunch of good players and you have cap space, you have the room. It's a good fit for these guys to come over and join a really good team. That's the only way you're going to get one, and that's going to be far down the line. And what Sam Presti has done is he's taken the Thunder out of this state of limbo of, yes, we're good enough to make the playoffs. Yes, we're good enough to be, in the middle of the playoffs, in the middle of the pack, 5th seed, 6th seed, 4th seed, around there. But he's taken us out of this limbo of just getting to the first round and then getting knocked out in 6 or 7 games every single year, which is not where you want to be. Who is that team in the East right now? Who is that team? Who are the other teams that are doing that? It's the Orlando Magic. It's the Detroit Pistons. It was the Pelicans. It used to be in the first round, and maybe they get lucky and they beat the Trailblazers and make it to the second round and they get bounced and they get whooped by the Warriors. What Sam Presti has done is he's taken the Thunder out of that state of limbo of just doing the same thing every year over and over again. Signing our main star and not having enough cap room to do anything with, not enough assets to make a trade for a three-point shooter that we really need. What Sam Presti's doing is he's taking us out of that situation. He's going to go get us our star, our number one guy, the guy that can build us a championship team. He's going to get that through the draft because that's how you get them to stay here the longest. The Thunder have never signed a big-time free agent that we didn't already have. We drafted Kevin Durant. We drafted Russell Westbrook. We drafted James Harden. We drafted Serge Ibaka. We traded for Paul George. We traded for Carmelo Anthony. We traded for Jeremy Grant. They've never... he's signed like a Derek Fisher or a Caron Butler, guys who were really good in their prime but are past their prime. They're, guys that help the team out, sure, but didn't just take us to the next level. Sam Presti is he's taking these assets and he's trying to get so many swings at the draft just to take a hit on this guy who has huge potential and who can be a big part of the league. a top 5 guy. He's trying to get just the most swings at, the most times to draft this guy, and he's your guy. He's giving us enough picks that if we miss, we'll be fine the next year. Once we have our building blocks and we can't really use this draft to give us assets for guys who can play right now who don't need to develop, he's going to do exactly what teams are doing for us. He's going to take those assets, give us a good player that can help us win right now and that fits our team. Just like we did for the Pelicans and like we did for the Suns and, all these guys that we're trading away. He's going to use these guys. He can even draft a player maybe he doesn't fit along with. Maybe it's like a Poku Baisley situation where they're both really, their best position is to play at the 4. Like Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis are both best when they're playing center. He can take that. He can pair a pick with a young player and get us a guy who can help this team and take us to the next level to win now. Sam Presti has a plan. He has, hey, we're intentionally tanking. We're not just gonna suck. We don't just suck like the New York Knicks or the Detroit Pistons, and we're not stuck in limbo of making it to the playoffs, but we don't do anything like the Orlando Magic. It's an intentional tank, and he's getting these assets. Our best picks are going to be our picks, and Sam Presti realizes that, and so he knows we have to go through the draft to get us a big time star, the guy that can win us a championship, and maybe having all these guys, because it will make it easier for us being a small market to sign a better free agent. Maybe we'll find out in the next couple of years, is Shea the number 1 guy or a number 2 guy? And do we need to draft a guy that's better than him or a guy that can put the team on his back and take us all the way? Sam Presti has this plan. We're not just going to suck to suck. Like, we're not just, hey, we signed Julius Randle or we signed Taj Gibson, Bobby Portis, and then, we drafted R.J. Barrett. Like what's the plan there? I don't understand where you're going with that. You have R.J. Barrett, but then you have, Frank Ntilikina at point guard. Whoop-de-doo. Or you have Elfrid Payton at point guard. Like, Sam Presti has this plan to get us our young guys and to take the guy with high potential that can take us to a championship and not just be this team that's getting kicked out of the first round over and over again. Yeah, it might happen, but Sam Presti is taking the plan, the easiest path or the most straightforward path to getting to a championship. He has a plan. Don't worry, he has a plan. He's going through the draft and we're getting all these assets, and then maybe, hey, we're on the other side of this Paul George trade, where, hey, we got this, we can sign this guy. Hey, if you trade for that guy, I'll sign for you. These assets that Sam Presti is getting. Oh man, but that's just a 2nd round pick we got in that trade. Or, oh man, that's gonna be like a late 1st round pick. Like, who wants that? I mean, a team that's sitting there like us, who goes, ooh, hey, that's a 1st round pick. Yeah, I'll take that. Because it's like money. Like, you can. They don't care necessarily when the draft pick is. They see, hey, 1st round draft pick, give me that and a player, and you can have our star guy. Okay, anyways, that's what my thoughts on what Sam Presti's doing. He has a plan. We're not just sucking to suck. We're intentionally tanking so we can have a good pick and we can build through the draft, because that's the best way to draft. I mean, just look at the Warriors. They built through the draft. Steph Curry wasn't even a big time pick. He was just a lottery pick, picked after Blake Griffin and all those guys. And then you have Klay Thompson, and then you have Draymond Green. Draymond, who's sitting over there naming the however many guys were drafted in front of him being drafted whenever he was drafted. And then, maybe we'll draft you get a 2nd round, you get a Fred VanVleet out of the 2nd round or something like that. So one of those type of guys, or you get the Bull. Those 2nd round picks are useful because it's just another chance to take a shot at a player who could really help you out. Because no matter where your pick is, you're taking a guy. The draft is a total crapshoot. You don't know if that guy's going to be good until they actually play in the NBA. Yes, if you have a lottery pick, you have a top 5 pick, you have a top 3 pick, you get a better chance. You get to take the guy you want. You know a little bit more about him than the guy who's the 50th pick in the draft or the 60th pick in the draft, like Isaiah Thomas. But no matter where you are in the draft, it's a total crapshoot, and you could be the very last pick and get the best guy out of the draft, or one of the top 10 guys out of that draft. Because if you look back, hey, if you even redraft SGA's draft, he's probably a top 5 guy, and he was drafted, late in the lottery. Anyways, that's my rant, and that's what I think about what St. Presti's doing. He's not just leaving us in limbo. He's telling us, hey, this is where we are. We're gonna tank, so we can get a good draft pick, so we can have this guy that can stay with the Thunder. Because you draft a guy, and most likely he's gonna stay with you for at least 2 contracts. With his rookie contract, and then his second contract, he's most likely gonna be there with you. And then, hey, if you're playing well, you're doing good. Maybe hopefully you don't get Kevin Duranted, and he just goes and signs with another team for no reason. Hopefully you can stay for the long run. And that's the best way to do that. That's how we did it the first time. And hey, maybe we look out and Poku is a hit, and SGA is that second guy, and then Darius Baisley and Lou Dort are the third and fourth guys. And we draft another guy who's really good. Maybe we just get lucky. I mean, the Thunder have been a lucky franchise. We've been a franchise for 12, 13 years or whatever. And we've only sucked 2 years, and one of those years was because every single one of our players was hurt, pretty much. I mean, we didn't make the playoffs the first year we were here, but we already had Kevin Durant. Then we get Russell Westbrook, 2 MVPs right there. Then you get James Harden, another MVP right there. Then you get Serge Ibaka, a big piece to your team that makes it to the finals. And then you trade for that Kendrick Perkins, the guy to hold on the defense down low. Guys like that. And then boom, you get later on, after you already get a good team, you get that Steven Adams again. Just like that. There's a plan to what St. Presti's doing. We're not just sucking to suck. We're not the New York Knicks or the Detroit Pistons, and we're not gonna be stuck in limbo, hopefully again, like the Magic are, teams like that. We're not like the Pistons, where it's like, oh hey, we're getting rid of all these guys, and we're gonna have these young guys. We're gonna draft Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart, and then we're gonna sign Jeremy Grant, and then they signed Jahlil Okafor and Mason Plumlee, and things like that. So what the Thunder's doing, they have a plan. Sam Presti has a plan. There's nothing to worry about. You don't need to fire him. He's telling us what direction he's going in by what he's doing. Okay, moving on. So now let's answer the question of what do we have to look forward to this season with the Thunder. So many things to look forward to this season with the Thunder. Don't just look at the negative. Take the positive out of every single game that you can find. Yeah, we're gonna get blown out one night, and then hey, maybe we luck out and we're just draining threes the next night, and we beat a good team just for no reason, just because it's just one of those nights where you just can't miss from 3. Things like that. But just take the positive out of every single game. But there's so many things to look forward to this season for the Thunder. It's supposed to be a really good draft. You got Cade Cunningham, Brandon Boston, Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs, Jalen Johnson, Evan Mobley. So many things to look forward to. The draft is a big one. But you're saying, hey, but what about the actual season? What about basketball? What about Thunder basketball? Big thing. We get to find out, is SGA our guy? Is he the number one guy? Do we need to draft that number one guy, and in Shea is the Russell Westbrook of our finals team, or is he the Kevin Durant? You get to find that out. You get to find out how good Shea is going to be when there's no other primary ball handler on the team. He's going to be the guy. There's not 2 other guys on the roster, at his position. He doesn't have to play. He's the main guy. What can SGA do when there's no other number one guy on this team right now. This season, this is Shea's team. This is Shea's team right now. We get to find out how good Shea can be. And maybe we don't even find that. We just see like another glimpse of hope from Shea, and then the next season he takes another leap. You get Darius Bazley. Is Darius Bazley a bench guy? Is he just a role-playing starter, or was he a steal in the draft that we got him in? Can he also be a star? Is he the guy? How good can Lou Dort be? Is he Marcus Smart? Is he Kawhi? So many things to look forward to. Poku, and Poku might take 3 seasons before we find out if he's good. But can Poku even play in this league? Is he gonna have to play G League first? It was Theo Maledon, because I've heard so many good things about Theo Maledon. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, and he fell all the way to 34. And then you have Tony Parker coming out and saying Theo Maledon. Tony Parker's like, I told this coach should have played more minutes. This guy's too good. You got to give him more minutes. Tony Parker comes out and says, man, his coach cost him a first-round pick because he didn't play him enough. So high praise from Tony Parker. Two guys in this draft, the first 2 guys that the Thunder take, could end up being steals and could up already being big pieces of the next Thunder era. You get to find out, hey, did TJ Leaf just need to change the scenery? Did Justin Jackson just need to change the scenery? We signed Josh Hall on a 2-way. We signed Moses Brown on a 2-way. Is Josh Hall another Lou Dort? Maybe not. Not defensively, but maybe on offense. He's a good player off the bench or something. Just something to help this Thunder team out. I don't understand when people say there's nothing to look forward to this season. We get to find out so many things, like, can Al Horford be good again so we can flip him for some more picks or another young player? Can Hamidou Diallo take another step up with his shooting? Is he going to stay on the Thunder? Can he be a starter? Can he be the 6th man? I just think the season is going to be so fun. Don't get caught up in the wins and losses. The only thing you need to worry about is when the time comes around for the draft lottery, what pick do the Thunder get? That's the only thing you need to worry about. Because, hey, if turns out Bays, he was just kind of good in the bubble. That's all right. We got more picks. We got Poku. Dort. We get to see. That's another thing. We get to see a whole season of Dort. A whole season, 72 games, but that's like twice as many games as we got to see Lou Dort last season. He played like 20 games with us, 20-something games with us. I think it was 25, 26. And then, season gets canceled. And then, we come back, plays the 8 games in the bubble. We go to the playoffs. We get to see a whole season of Lou Dort. There's just so many things to look forward to with this season. Don't just get caught up in the wins and losses. We get to see these young guys play. Just remember how fun it was when we watched young Russell Westbrook, young Kevin Durant, young James Harden playing, even before we got caught up in the finals and things like that, and we were worrying about coaching and other things. We don't. That's another one. We don't know if Mark Dagnall is good. Like, what if he's just a really awesome coach? What if he sucks? Then we can go get some other awesome coach. I don't understand why people are looking at this season so negatively. Hey, we're Thunder fans. We're spoiled. We've had so many awesome seasons. We've only missed the playoffs like twice. Yeah, we get bounced in the first round. Yeah, Kevin Durant left. Whatever. It's a new Thunder era. We get to find out so many things this season. We get to watch college basketball. Not that we couldn't before, but, we got more stake in it. We got more stake in the draft lottery. We got more stake in the draft. So many more NBA days to be excited for than we usually are. Usually it's just, here we go. Here's the regular season. We'll have a good month. We'll have a bad month. We get to the playoffs. Hey, we won a couple games. First round playoffs. And then we get our butt whipped out of the first round. Sam Presti's taking us out of this limbo. The Thunder do have a direction. The Thunder have a direction. That's straight through the draft. And maybe the Thunder use these assets to trade for that guy who's not happy in another team. Maybe, in a couple of years, Jaylen Brown, he's on the Celtics. He doesn't want to play his second fiddle total Jason Tatum anymore. He wants to come over. He wants to be that main guy. You know, SGA can be the 2 guy. Jaylen Brown, he's number 1. You know, or maybe Miles Turner doesn't want to be at the Pacers anymore. LaMelo Ball's over at the Hornets. Turns out he's really good, but man, he doesn't like Charlotte. He don't want to be over there. That organization sucks. They keep signing Gordon Hayward to a $120 million contract, and you know, things like that. So many things to look forward to. So many assets and Presti to use. Trade deadline will be exciting. You know, Thunder's got 3 scrimmages coming up: December 12th, December 16th, and December 18th. We get to play old Billy Donovan. We'll see him on the other side. Just look at this season positively. You know, take the positives out of every single game. Anyways, that's my rant on the Thunder. You know, right now I've seen a lot of people. I've had some people ask me. I see a lot of people being negative about this season. Yeah, we're gonna suck, but hey, this is a young team. Back to meeting a young team again. You know, that was fun. It was so fun. It was fun being a young team. Because we never know how much better these guys are going to get. So many moves you can make. You can get guys in the draft that can play on your team. You don't just have to worry about, oh man, who's that one guy who can play right now? We don't have to do that anymore. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.